Boys and girls, welcome aboard the Greenfield Village Railroad. And for your safety, we do ask that you please remain seated while the train is in motion, keeping your hands, legs, arms, head, and feet inside the train at all times. And please, no eating or drinking except for water. Now, if you do have little ones with you, we do ask that the adults please sit at the end of the row. If that's not practical, then please make sure the kids are held or are easily within your reach. Thank you. And as we start to leave the Firestone Station, let's wave goodbye to Kaylee, our station master here today. And we're beginning a 30-minute trip around the inside of Greenfield Village. We will be making 2 more stops along the way, one at our Susquehanna station and the second over at Smith Creek. And then we'll be returning here to the Firestone Station, which of course is by the main entrance to Greenfield Village. Now we're going through some 300 years of American history and innovation here at Greenfield Village. And we have nearly 100 buildings that are open for you to look at, go through. And many of these buildings do have presenters inside who will be happy to talk with you about the buildings as well as the people who may have either worked in or lived in these buildings. And right now we're entering the first of our 7 historic districts. This is the Henry Ford Model T district. And you can see that white farmhouse up ahead. That's the birthplace of Henry Ford. He was born in one of those upstairs bedrooms on July 30th of 1863. In fact, we just got through celebrating his birthday this past weekend. The farmhouse was actually built in 1861, a couple of years before Henry was born, and it was located in the area of Ford Road and Greenfield Road. That's roughly about 3 miles away from where we are today. And the farm, when it was first started, was about 140 acres. That later grew to be over 230 acres. And although Henry was born on a farm and reared on a farm, he did not like the farm. He did not like the farm work. So at the age of 16, he wound up leaving the farm and began working in the machine shops of Detroit. From there, the rest is history. Now as we pass the farmhouse, you can look down Main Street, where we have such buildings as the Wright Brothers Cycle Shop, the Wright Brothers Home. There's also Mrs. Cohen's Millinery and the Heinz Building, where they made some of the 57 varieties. In fact, our question of the day is, what was the first product produced by Heinz? And the answer is, it's not ketchup, it's horseradish. And right now we're going into the Thomas Edison at Work district. And you can see a statue of Thomas on the left-hand side. He is seated there, and he's probably thinking about his next invention. Now the large gray building is the Menlo Park Laboratory, and that's where Edison did a lot of his research and development. In fact, this is where he developed the incandescent light bulb along with the phonograph and many, many other inventions. In fact, during his lifetime, Edison accumulated 1,093 U.S. patents for his inventions. Now the mustard colored building up here is the Sarah Jordan boarding house. That's where many of Edison's unmarried male employees would stay. And it's one of the first buildings in the world. And we're now going into the Porches and Parlors district. This features a number of homes that individuals have lived in over the years, and they do give you some ideas about the lifestyles and traditions of the people who lived in them, as well as the times. Now, some of the people who lived in these buildings were rather well known, such as Luther Burbank, Noah Webster, and William McGuffey. And right now we're passing the Ackley Covered Bridge. This was built in 1832 and was located in southwest Pennsylvania, where it went over the Wheeling Creek. Now the oldest building here in the village is the Cotswold Cottage. It's the limestone building at the top of the hill on our left-hand side. That was built in the early 1600s in England. And Henry Ford was very fond of that type of structure, so he was on the lookout for one that he could actually buy. And one of his agents found this one. It's called the Rose Cottage. Ford bought it and brought it over here to Greenfield Village. Okay, let's go.